Oh, there it is. Why don't you give us a bit of a rundown, just some context, so we can get into this?
So, What If, one of my favorite comics growing up, was always a series where we got to imagine various Marvel characters or various scenes from classic Marvel comics, but slightly different. So that's where we got the now infamous What If Jane Foster Was Thor comic. One of my favorites growing up was What If Weapon X Fought Wolverine? And it was all about someone else being Weapon X and Wolverine being, instead of Wolverine, and them running into each other. Like, that type of cool shit. What it's formed into post the What If show has been it's become more of a multiversal comic in which now it's all going to come together at the end in some weird multiversal adventure. So instead of having different What If comics right now, they're doing a What If Miles Morales series of comics. And they had What If Miles Morales is Captain America, What If Miles Morales is Wolverine, What If Miles Morales is the Hulk, and now we got What If Miles Morales was Thor. And it all culminates just in a comic called What If Miles Morales? Yeah. So far, the series has been pretty damn good for what it is. Like, I very much enjoyed him as Hulk, was pretty interesting, but this one has been pretty much universally panned. First off, I think we can notice here that we have some graffiti all over. And, that's just how Asgard is now. Because Asgard now grew out of Brooklyn for some reason.
Oh.
Miles Morales' internal dialogue is all written in rap form.
Oh.
It all rhymes.
Oh, no.
So, it's something. It's something. Of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood. Oh, sorry. It starts out with a rap that is not from his perspective, and then his internal dialogue slash the narration throughout is also in rap. It's very weird. But yeah, of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood. For Miles that you can see, he's just that good. The Rainbow Bridge takes him to his quest. The Bifrost line goes north, south, east, and west. Not and, in. There's a lot of like just cringeworthy like written slang in here where it's just like, okay, but you could very clearly tell that this was written by people who were very much trying to make the comic. I don't know. It's just weird. There's fucking shoes. The fucking phone line.
Oh,
in Asgard?
It's yes.
They
there
made
are shoes
there aren't
on the phone
in
line.
Asgard. They don't
have
5G.
I mean, he quotes different like rap song, like different fucking like hip hop songs and different fucking other shit whenever he's doing his attacks.
So what you're saying is it's extremely extra.
Here he is.
Over the top,
here he is saying "Hammer Time" as he gets Mjolnir.
Dear God.
Yeah, no, it's really bad. The one interesting thing though was his uncle, Prowler, is actually Loki. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's time. Okay, here we go. He spins his hammer. Time to spin these hits. Now that was a banger. Right up to your face and diss you.
And
so people are calling this. People are rightfully complaining about this comic being extremely like racist and stereotypical in so many ways. And just an example of how
the author's going to change my perspective on it quite a bit.
Exactly. And that's the
It's
thing that
gonna-
I've been wondering. And I just read it before this, and it kind of, this is what everybody's been complaining about, saying it's racist, right? And I can see why, but it's as you said, is it racist or is it just extra?
I found the author. It
Uh-huh.
says Yehudi Mercado is a Mexican Jew born in Mexico City and raised in Texas.
Ah.
Okay.
Well,
So-
therein
All right.
therein lies why, because a lot of what I've seen complaining about seems to be coming from the blurred community and stuff. So it does seem as if there is some legitimate claims of racism there, and it not just being extra. And I mean, in this case, yes, this is not some, white guy writing it or whatever, but it's still people trying to write from experiences that aren't their own. And yes, as authors, we don't always write from our own experiences. Abso-fucking-lutely. And it's very hard. Like, that would be boring if we did, but you at least gotta, like, have a sensitivity reader or something.
Yeah, Asgard is his hood, not a self assigned thing. That's not Miles saying it. That's the narrator describing okay, it's unfortunate and it is there for all to see. If you look up Miles Morales Thor, you'll get that exact page with the fucking with the shoes and the telephone lines. They don't have phones in Asgard. They made it for the shoes.
Like, that's the other thing, is that implies that they have phones and electricity and shit in Asgard, and I'm pretty sure that's not how their physics works or their technology works.
I mean, relative to regular Thor saying hammer time, would that be? I don't know. I feel like that could be just read as I don't know. Would that be better? Would that be worse? I'm really not sure. But
I mean, that's the thing, is a lot of these things on their own are not necessarily that bad. It's the fact that it's so much and so over the top, and it feels like it's trying way too hard to be black. And it's like, okay, if you have to try that hard, then maybe you shouldn't be writing that story, or maybe you should at least be consulting people who can better help you write a more nuanced story, because I mean, you do get into the other side of things where people just write characters as if they're people will go the other route, and instead of trying to, when writing for black characters or characters of another ethnicity than theirs, instead of going the route of overcompensating, they'll just write them as basically as their own ethnicity, or as white, but but just with a black skin tone or something. And it's like, okay, but there are cultural differences as well in small things. And you see that with a lot of authors trying to write from experiences that aren't their own. They can go one way or the other if they're not careful in either really trying to represent it to the point of almost hamming it up and it making it feel unrealistic, or doing the exact opposite and almost erasing the culture of the character. What I'm saying is we need sensitivity readers, and they're a fucking big enough company to do that. And I don't get why they don't have them.
I'm not as familiar with this sort of production pipeline or whatever. I'm not sure what scale they're working on precisely, but there should be at least, drafts, right? You should have stuff that you're willing to, someone just looking at it. You don't even need just a sensitivity reader, just need a reader, like someone to look at this and say, hey, maybe don't put graffiti and the telephone lines with shoes. It's just so much. It's just so much, I think, and that's sort of the baseline we're starting with here. I think
it would all be very different, like we were just talking about, if this was someone writing about their own culture, but coming from the outside, Jesus Christ.
And we see people ham up and over exaggerate like stereotypical versions of their own culture or like other things like that. I mean, there was the controversy over with the Harley Quinn TV show recently, the depiction of Penguin, and a lot of people being like, okay, but he's playing on Jewish stereotypes and that, like, but also a lot of the cast and crew were Jewish, and there's a lot of Jewish humor in there, including some degrading Jewish humor. Like, a lot of people that were calling it out didn't seem to kind of understand the context there.
I did some just pulling this up, and it looks like the author has apologized for being insensitive and has donated everything he made for writing the comic.
Oh shit! Nice.
To the Brooklyn Book Bodega, which works to build literacy and get more books to kids in New York City. But then also in Googling it, I also discovered that one of the lines in the book is, "By Odin's fade, I command you." And that is what the fuck was he thinking? How do you have to have people be like, "Hey, homie, this is fucking racist"?
Yeah, just like, hey, maybe you've taken a misstep. Maybe
You're taking a
wrong.
Like, are you kidding me?
Here's the thing. At least an effort was made to say, hey, this is bad. I realize that. I did a bad thing, and I'm going to try something. It's better than nothing. It's better than doubling down or, like, suing people.
Looking at it, too, it looks like in a lot of the art of it, they really, like, toned down the fact that Miles Morales is, Afro-Latino.
That, too, yeah.
It looks like they almost tried to wipe away the entire Latino part of it from some of this.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but no, that's absolutely true. I do have to say, as far as respect for him, for the author, like admitting his blind sights and his errors there, and actually like donating that money and trying to do right. I mean, because even the best of us will fuck up.
Maybe not this bad, but still, like...
Yeah.
Hello, this is David Lieberhart.
And Jason the Kitty Cat.
Please join Crew Day Maine and the Center for Stateless Society
For Crew Day Crawl.
a week-long
Anarchist Book Fair.
and Mardi Gras
Festival.
in St. Tammany,
County.
Louisiana. There'll be live podcast
Music.
and a pop drag.
So much.
Visit our website, crewdaygras,
.wgf.
for more information.
Thank you.
Have a great Mardi Gras.